Tutorial hell is a state where you endlessly watch or read tutorials without venturing out on your own to build something yourself. Now it sounds pretty avoidable, right? Or just don't watch too much of it. But when you start on skills like coding, art, or music design, you can't do a lot other than watch a bunch of tutorials. So as long as I don't watch a bunch of tutorials, I won't fall into it. Yeah, I fell into it. Well, I kinda did it on purpose. Let me explain. After making a few small games in Pico 8, it felt right to take the big step into my game dev dream. Please be kind to me. Now, I wasn't completely new to Godot. Thanks to watching a concerning amount of game dev videos, I had somewhat of an idea on what to expect. Plus, there's also Godot's documentation which goes through... I didn't read any of that. Now, I needed something to warm me up to the engine, so I started with a tutorial by the GOAT Brakis. I had only done 2D games so far, so I felt his 2D platformer tutorial would be beginner friendly for me. It was pretty easy to follow along, but I wanted mine to have some differences, so I made some of my own pixel art to use instead. I finished without really having any major issues, but I wasn't all that proud of it. To be honest, I basically just copied what the video was saying, and hope it runs every time I press F5. I knew nothing would be satisfying until I had made a game by myself, but it was so difficult to think of an idea to work from. Now, I did have ideas, lots of them, but they didn't really resonate with me for my first game, so I was kinda stuck there for a while. Okay, look, I don't know why, but I figured that if I just watched a bunch of tutorials, then I'm pretty sure my mind would eventually cook something up in the back. And so, that's what I did. I played around with creating a main menu first, which, thinking about it now, was a waste of time since there was no inspiration I could take. And I could also say the same for the tutorials after that. You'll see why. I tried a third-person tutorial by Lucky, which helped me understand third-person controls and camera, which took me quite a while to get the hang of adjusting, since I'm used to 2D cameras. It was interesting playing with the camera position, finding the sweet spot, but without any other mechanics, I didn't really do all that much. So I moved to the next guide, which helped me improve on the third-person camera, but honestly, I preferred the previous camera more. I then tried a couple of first-person tutorials by Legion Games, which wasn't that much different from making the third-person prototype, but I figured I was eventually gonna try making it, so might as well do it now. Afterwards, it was just video after video of tutorials. I didn't even try to follow them, I just sat and watched. I guess my brain finally had enough with all the tutorials, because I suddenly thought about the prototype game I made, specifically the moving platform, which hit me. I can make a game all about moving platforms. The player will have to navigate through moving platforms to reach his ship, and instead of a platforming level that moves horizontally, I decided to design the level to progress vertically. That way if they fall, either they would restart from the bottom, or moving platform would catch them. I didn't want the player to just hover on one platform for too long, so I added spiked walls at the ends of the map and made it so some of the platforms would actually move past the spikes to deter players from just staying on one platform for too long. Now, I'm not sure if there's a better way of making the platforms move, but I'm trying to make the core gameplay with only what I know, so most of my time was spent animating the movement of the platforms. There was a lot of trial and error when setting the timing of each platform so the difficulty would be balanced. For example, the first two platforms, I wanted them to converge at a specific time, so I was adjusting the speed gap between them. Trying to finish the level, I realized it's difficult to make the level completely out of moving platforms like I had originally planned, so I had to scrap that idea and add some static platforms, but I tried to keep it as minimal as possible. This is the current build of the game. The core loop was done and I'm proud of the current progress so far. So, was watching a bunch of tutorials really beneficial to making this game? Yes and no. It definitely didn't help me when I was making my game, but I guess in a way it did help me find the idea to make it. The experience taught me you really don't need much to start making your first game. With the core loop done, now I can easily make a to-do list on what I want to work on next to complete it. So maybe this can be your sign if you're suffering an idea block. Maybe let your brain cook for a bit. But I wouldn't recommend anyone to force themselves into tutorial hell. Literally anything else can help you find your idea. Okay, bye.